What's up, guys? So today we are going to make a custom G-code editor for Fusion 360. We're going to use Codex to make it, and we have a list of criteria. We must be able to open files, save files, and we need to be able to make it our default G-code editor for Fusion 360. Okay, this is actually pretty simple, and it's kind of complicated at the same time. But AI is going to do all the complicated part, and we're going to do the simple part. So we're going to have to make this an executable file in order for Fusion 360 to actually be able to open it, okay? It can't just be like an HTML browser app, browser-based app. It needs to be something that's installed on your computer, okay? A standalone software, right? So we're gonna have to tell Codex what we want. And you use Claude too. So this is our criteria. It needs to be able to open files, save files, be able to be the default G-code editor in Fusion 360. And with that editor, we want it to be able to add and remove in-block sequence numbers. We want it to be able to remove the space that's in between G-code elements, remove space or add space. For example, if you take a proven program off a CNC machine, like a Fanuc base or a lot of machines, there's no spaces between elements. You're trying to read the code, it's really hard to read and modify because there's no space in between separating the elements, okay? So we want to add space in between elements. We want to be able to convert from inch to millimeters or millimeters to inches. I want the G-code editor to be able to switch from X minus to X positive. So basically take all the X minus directions, flip them to X positive, and take all the X positive and flip it to X negative. Same thing with the Z, the U, W values. We want to be able to switch Geo2 to Geo3 and Geo3 to Geo2. And I have a specific application for this too. There's a reason why I need to be able to do that. But it is helpful for your code editor to be able to do, editing tasks like this, especially if you're running mill. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and prompt Codex to go ahead and build this application for us. So I'm going to just click here to dictate, and I'm going to just tell it what to do. Build me a standalone Windows desktop application called G-code editor. It's going to be used for editing G-code posted from Fusion 360. Build it using Python 3 and package it with PyInstaller and save it as a windows.exe file. Let's see. Build me a standalone Windows desktop application called Gcode Editor. Alright, it's going to be used for editing G-code from Fusion 360. Build it using Python 3 and package it with PyInstaller and save it as a windows.exe file. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and see what it does. Alright, now we wait. Okay, so there's going to be a list of features. Basically, what we're going to do is just have it build something that works first, okay? And once we get something that works, like the framework of an app, then we're going to go ahead and start adding features, okay? One at a time. If you try to give it too much, a lot of times it'll just mess things up. Okay, so Codex says, I'll use the Fusion 360 editor workflow for this. I don't know what that means. I'll use the Fusion G-code editor workflow for this since it's aimed exactly making a standalone executable file. Okay, so I think it's talking about, so I've made a bunch of apps before using Codex and Claude, so it's probably referring to something we built in the past here. Okay, alright guys, so Codex is done. And let's see what it says. So done. I built a package standalone Windows app here. Gcode editor .executable file. It's a tkinter based Python desktop editor with OpenSave, line numbers, G-code highlighting. It's got a find replace, an inspection panel for tool changes, a spindle coolant command, access bounds, and program in. I also verified the source parses cleanly. The tkinner, if that's how you say it, loads via executable exist, and the app launches successfully with a sample.nc file argument like Fusion 360 will pass. In Fusion 360, choose the file as the external editor under the preferences, general, manufacturing, and select the external editor. Then post the OpenNC file in editor checked out. Okay, I have to say that I've done this before, and Codex kind of knows what I want. All right, so if you're doing this for the first time, you may have to train the AI to actually build what you want. Okay, it's not that bad. It'll build something. It'll build something the first time. It may not be what you want, or it may not work properly, but just keep doing it, and you'll be building stuff that works. It takes time, but anyways. So let's check out and see what it has here. All right, so Gcode editor. All right, it's a pretty bland Gcode editor. All right, cool. Let's actually post some Gcode. So I didn't actually install this. That's the cool thing about this, because it used the Pi installer. All right, so let's go ahead and copy and paste some code in here. See how this works. Not bad. Tells you how many lines it has, how many characters. Okay, basic text editor functions. It looks pretty good. Let's test out the find and replace. Let's do into here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cool. So that's fine. Let's replace it with into test replace. And there's not actually a replace button there. Hold up. Oh, there we go. There we go. So we're here on the far right over here. So replace, and it worked. So we'll go ahead and let's do undo. Control Z, and undo works. Let's try saving it. So we're gonna save this as test program. Trash one done. Saves it as a Gcode file format. Looks pretty good. Let's delete everything right here. Let's try opening the file. You want to save changes? No. Alright, so let's try opening it. Alright, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so this is the basic foundation of a code editor. Okay, it's really pretty simple. Okay, so it looks like everything's working right. Now, here's the real test. Can we add this as our default Gcode editor for Fusion 360? Okay. So once we verify that works, that Fusion 360 will actually open up, because I've done this before, and it doesn't always work. Okay. Actually, for the longest time, it wouldn't work. AI has gotten a lot better. But anyways, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Fusion 360. I'm going to go to my top right to Preferences. We're going to go to the General drop down. I'm going to go to Manufacturer, and right here, External Editors for NC Programs. So right now I have VS Code, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to add this Gcode editor right here. Alright, gonna hit apply. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign right there so far. Okay, so the next test to verify that this actually works is we are going to post some code in Fusion 360. So I have this file here. I'm gonna right click. We're gonna go to post process, and let me use let me change the post processor there. We're gonna hit post. Let's overwrite the old file, and here we go. That's actually it. Alright, so we verified that everything works. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding features. And the first feature we're going to start with is we want to be able to have a function in the Gcode editor that will add or remove in-block sequence numbers. Okay, so if you notice, this program doesn't have any in-block sequence numbers. If you look to your left, we do have numbered lines. That's good. That's just the code editor. The actual code doesn't have numbered lines. So we're going to add a feature that does that. So I'm going to go to Codex, and I'm going to prompt it to add in-block sequence numbers. Add a feature to the Gcode editor that allows me to add or remove in-block sequence numbers. Do not add sequence numbers to percentage signs or lines that have the program name or number. Alright, so we're going to check this out. Make sure it's add a feature to the Gcode editor that allows me to add or remove in-block sequence numbers. Do not add the sequence numbers to percentage signs or lines that have the program number, name or number. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now we wait and see. Okay, so Codex is finished and it responded, done. I added sequence number controls to the toolbar and I rebuilt the executable file. So here is the executable file. Now, one thing I don't like, it has the same name as the first one. Really want to do is we want to be able to organize and keep track of every update. So the first executable file needs to be called rev1 and the next one needs to be rev2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and prompt Codex to do that. We'll do that in a minute, but let's go ahead and read what it said. So the new controls start, step, and add in or remove in. If the text is selected, it works only on the selected lines. I like that. Otherwise, it works on the whole file. Add in skips the percentage signs and the program name or number. Okay, that's good. Remove in block removes leading in block sequence numbers. Now, for future note, what we'll have to do is on like lathe programs, for example, where you have a G71 or G72, those work off the P and Q. So we don't want it to remove in-block numbers that are associated with the P and Q. But we'll get to that later. Let's go ahead and let's get this one feature working, and then we'll perfect it as we go along. All right, add in. That works. Remove in. Cool, cool. And if you have a certain line selected, say we have just these lines right here, if we hit add in, it adds in block numbers just to those lines. And let's try it again. Looks good. Can we select? Okay, well, that'll work. I like that. That's definitely cool. Now, it's a good habit, once you get Codex or any AI to actually do what you want, you complete the task and it did it correctly, tell it that it worked and to remember that for next time. You basically want it to, you want to train it on what actually works, okay? If you don't tell it worked or it doesn't work, it's not going to know, right? You want to give it feedback. Also, tell it to remember it and it'll make a skill